this morning, but I think we've got it all fixed. Today and the last few weeks have been Psalms kind of days for me. And I'm going to read to you from Psalm 55, a thought that I'm sure I'm not the only one that has this thought, and a resolution to the thought. Okay? So the psalmist is having trouble in life. There's some anguish that he's experiencing. And so this is his human response to trouble that lasts a long time. He says, this is Psalm 55, verses 6, 7, and 8. I said, oh, that I had the wings of a dove. I would fly away and be at rest and stay in the desert. I would fly far away into the desert. I would hurry to find a place of shelter that was far away from the tempest and the storm. And then he goes on to pray that God would calm the storm and the tempest and change, he prays, change my circumstances, because I'm in trouble here and I need you to change my circumstances. And he just kind of rants and raves about whether or not God's going to change his circumstances, which I don't know about you. I've done that, and I go toe to toe with God sometimes, but I never really make much progress, and I always seem to end up back at the same place where the psalmist ends up. So I'm going to read to you the resolution that he comes to after just a rage of destroy my enemies, take care of my trouble, leave it far behind from me, and and he just goes on off about this. And then there's a pause. You can tell there's a pause because in poetry they use these phrases, like stanzas, and then they leave a space, and then there's another stanza and a space, and so it's I want to get far away from here and go live in the desert. And then there's a stanza, destroy my enemies, destroy the trouble, destroy another stanza, and another stanza, another stanza, and another stanza, and another stanza. And then it's almost like there's an ellipse there, like a pause, like he's let it all out. And he's shared that he wants to get away from it all. And then he says this. And they almost always do this. But as for me, I trust in you. And that's the resolution. That's the whole resolution to the trouble. And I think there's wisdom in that for us. Sometimes there is a bit of trouble on our immediate horizon. And the answer is always going to be, you got to trust in God. It doesn't matter what the circumstances are. It doesn't matter what the trouble is. It doesn't matter who the enemy is. It doesn't matter what you're battling, whether it's personal, corporate. It doesn't really matter. You're going to have to trust in God. In the end, that's the bottom line for men and women of faith. And so I hope that whatever's happening in your life today, I really hope that you get to this place where you finally say to your soul, I trust in God. And allow that to be the rock upon which you stand. You all have a great, great day. Sorry I was late today, but glad I